Hey friends, welcome back to the Crusty Cranks TV, where we paint lures and make baits. And today we're going to do CC009, the Crusty Sexy Shad. Alright, and colors we're going to be using today is titanium white, obviously, and pearl white wicked. I've already got those two on there. You guys know I like to go ahead and get those out of the way so we can get right into it. Alright, and the next color we're going to be using is the US Art Supply airbrush color, Silver Pearl. And the reason is because I'm all out of Createx Pearl Silver, so we're going to use this US Art Supply. And it's pretty thin. It's ready to spray. That's one thing I like about it. It's not as deep color, so I'll have to go over it probably twice. Then we're going to be using this special blue that I've mixed up for the Sexy Shad. And it's a combination of Laquina blue, pearl blue, and another color called lake blue, and then pearl white. So I got those mixed up, and it's just been something I've played around with to get that color. I couldn't even really give you guys a ratio, but yeah, and maybe I'll try to figure it out, and then I'll let you guys know. But it's just something I tried to match, and I just kept dabbing it to try to get that Sexy Shad color that's on the original Sexy Shads. And I think I came pretty close. Sprayed it a little bit on a test lure, and it looks really, really close. But I'll figure that out for you, and we'll do another Sexy Shad, and I'll give you those numbers. And then we're going to be using transparent bright yellow for the stripe, and then Createx Opaque Black for the black shad dot. So let's get this bait wrapped up. It's got some scales on it, so we're going to be using this garlic bag mesh that I use for scales. I like it. It's flexible and it stretches, and it leaves a really nice scale pattern. So yeah, let's get started. I'll get her stretched up, and I'll bring you right back. Okay, got the silver in, and we're gonna turn that down just a little bit. So I don't want to spray too much. I want to go down to about the lateral line a little bit, not quite all the way, but and some people were asking me about the clips. I believe I got these at Walmart. I got these at Walmart in the craft section. And they're nice because they don't scratch your bait all up like the alligator clips. And I'm going to dry this and hit it with another coat so I can darken that silver up a little bit. So let me dry this and we'll hit it again. Yeah, the US Air Supply, Art Supply, whatever you want to call it. It's not as deep as the Createx as far as silver goes. And when you're putting it on that pearl white, you really kind of got to build it up to get it to not look like just pearl white and get your scales to show through. Plus it adds a little bit of pearl to that blue if you got a nice base on there. I'll do one with the Createx and in another video on a different kind of bait. I'm sure I'll get some orders for this, and then we'll use the Createx so you can see the difference. But there it is. Give it a little heat. Okay. Let's peel that off and see what she looks like. Yeah, I like these clips. They don't scratch and they hold pretty tight. And it might be a little hard to see on camera, but there you go. I got a nice little scale pattern there. I'm going to hit a little bit on the face and a little bit on the gills because I don't want too much scale pattern on the gills. Get a little dab more silver here. Just enough to hide that scale pattern. Okay. Let me clean that silver out and then we'll move on to the blue. I'll bring you right back. Okay. Like I said, this blue is mixed up with a little bit of Laguna blue, Createx Pearl Blue, and this US Art Supply Lake Blue. And then I added some Pearl White to get it, lighten it up to the color that I wanted. Okay. And I just played around with it, tested out some samples, a couple test baits I have, and I think I'm really close. Turn my pressure down because I don't want to blow too much paint. Get it coming through here a little bit. I'd rather build it up a little bit to what I want. It's always best to just stay light and just build it. Especially on the Sexy Shad, it doesn't have a lot of, doesn't have a really deep blue on it. And it doesn't go real far down the sides. Just a little bit. And my trigger's sticking there. And a little cleaning. And it doesn't have blue around the eyes, at least the original one don't. So we'll just build it until we get like what we like. Hit it with the dryer a little bit, and then we'll come back with another coat on top. Down the side just a little bit more. I like that blue. It looks real close to the original Sexy Shad. There's quite a few patterns of Sexy Shads out there. The blues vary, darker, lighter. This one's pretty close, I believe, to the original. Okay, I think we're going to leave it at that. We'll put our yellow on there. And I'll clean this brush out and bring you back for the yellow. Okay, got my striped stencil on there, and I decided I'm going to go with the opaque yellow instead of the transparent. So I'm using the US Art Supply Opaque Yellow, just because I'm afraid that by using transparent I might get more of a green than a yellow, and then using the mask I can actually hit it a couple times if I have to get that yellow to be yellow instead of green. Okay, make sure my mask's still stuck on there pretty good. And then just like I thought, it's turning green. So we'll dry a little bit. There we go. More time. Let's hit that one more time. Okay. Oh yeah, there we go. Look at that. Looking good, looking good. Okay, let's get the other stencil on the other side, and we'll get the other stripe in there. Okay, we got the other stencil side on. Let me check it one more time just to make sure it's down on there. Since I'm going to hit it a couple times. Yeah, you want to make sure you get your brush cleaned out real good. You want to make sure you get your brush cleaned out real good so you don't get a green stripe. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll run a little bit of the color through there. Especially going from a dark color to a light color. I'll run that color through there once, flush it out, and hit it again. That way I make sure that my yellow don't turn to a green. Alright, I'm going to hit it one more time. And dry it. And let's make the reveal. Sexy as can be. Yeah, this is a first for me, guys. You're watching it here first. I've never painted this sexy shad before. So, there it is. Liking it. Alright, so we got to put the black shad dot on it. And some eyes and some epoxy, and we'll see what she looks like. I think the colors are really going to pop out once that epoxy hits it. If I had to do it over again, I would definitely use Createx's silver because it's definitely darker. Over here I can see my scales a little bit, but I pretty much lost them. But I have actually seen sexy shads without any scale patterns on them either, so yeah. But the color's almost there, I think. All right, let me clean the brush out, get the shad dot on here. We'll get the shad dot on and some eyes. Okay, let's get our shad dot on here. I've seen it done a couple different ways. Most of them are right above the yellow stripe, so I'm going to try to put this one right above the yellow stripe. I got me a little dot there. I always put me a little dot marker, and then I just center my little template over that dot, and that helps me get them in the same spot every time. Dry that a little bit. Okay, there it is. My first sexy shad. I think it turned out pretty good. We'll see what it looks like when I put the epoxy on it, and I'll come back and tell you what I would do different next time. All right, but not bad, I don't think, for my first attempt. I mean, I'll fish with it. All right, let me get the brush cleaned out, and we'll get ready to put some eyes on it, and we'll be right back. Okay, we got put the eyes on, and we'll get the epoxy on it. I know this dude's gonna pop when I get the epoxy on it. All right, I got my choices here for eyes. Let me know in the comments which ones you guys would have picked. The original Sexy Shad has a silver and black eye on it, and I've seen some with the people have done with a red eye. But I'm thinking I'm going to go with this dark blue kind of dragon eye, or I could use this silver and blue. It's kind of a bluish silver, which would really complement that. But I think I want to do something different because I don't want to knock off the original Sexy Shad. But I think I'm going to go with this dark blue eye, just to see what it looks like. So yeah, let's go with this dark blue dragon eye. I have so much more better choices of eyes than going with the plain old silver and black eye, which you see on a lot of baits anyway. And I want mine to be a little different. So we're going to go with this blue with the black dragon pupil. Let me know in the comments which one would you guys do. Sometimes I like an eye that complements, and then sometimes I like an eye that contrasts. It just depends on the bait. But I think for this one, this eye is darker. It's a deeper blue, so it kind of complements, yet still has a little bit of contrast to it. Once we get that epoxy on it, it'll probably really pop out. All right. let's tilt it a little bit. Yeah. I like it. I like it. I just have so much fun doing this stuff. When you create something that looks, you know, like a winner. Winner chicken dinner, huh? Yep. Alright, let's get the other side on it. And let's get some epoxy on it. And I sell baits, but it's more of a hobby to me. I like creating different styles and different patterns. And if you guys do the same, I would suggest that you look in my info tab, and there's a link in there to a book I created, and I'm going to do a video on it. But it's basically a book that you can put your patterns in. You can put all the details of your patterns. So if you're creating baits and you like to create different types of patterns and stuff, it's definitely a book for you. And I really created it for myself because I have all these little index cards of papers around with all my bait patterns on them. But this book, I made it up specifically for bait painting, and I'll show it to you when I bring you back. And I'll suggest it if you like creating colors and doing different baits, write that stuff down, because you will forget. That was my problem when I first started. I was creating these baits and I would forget what patterns, what lures, what stencils, and all that. Well, with this book, and it's cheap, I think it's like $7, $7.95, something like that. And you can write down your patterns as you go, and I'll show you mine. I'll do a complete video on it, show you how I use it and how I mark down the different baits that I buy and different stuff like that, because it gets hard once you get into, I mean, I've got some like over 300 probably patterns in my head and the book and ones that I've done, but it helps to write it down. All right, there she is, Miss Sexy, looking awesome. I think you guys like those eyes. Let me know in the comments about the eyes, what you guys think. I kind of like them. But let's get some epoxy on it and I'll bring you back. Alright guys, here's the final Sexy Shad, looking sexy as ever. Yeah, it turned out really good. I'm real happy with it. If I do it over again, I'll definitely be using Createx Pearl Silver. It's a little deeper silver. I think it would have made the scales pattern look a little better. But I'm happy with it. I'll definitely fish with it. Yeah, so here's the colors we used. Titanium White, Wicked Pearl White, and we used the US Art Supply Airbrush Pearl Silver, then my special blue mix, and opaque yellow. We went from the transparent to the opaque, and then we used opaque black for the shad spot. So yeah, I'm real happy with the way it turned out, and I think it looks really good. I think it'll definitely be a winner. All right. Well, I appreciate everybody that subscribed, and the channel's growing, and I'm real happy about that. And yeah, so let's get to 1,000 subscribers. That would make me really happy. But I'm gonna keep putting up bait patterns for you. And by the way, here's my custom logbook. Let me see if I can get this in the camera. Like I said, I will definitely do a different video all in the logbook and how I use it. And if you're interested in picking one up, I'll put a link in the description. And can't get it all in there, but I'll put a link in the description, and you can pick this up on Amazon. And I think you can get up to, I think there might be like 100 pages of baits in there. But I'll definitely do a video on it for you guys. It's really cheap, but it's definitely a good tool to have if you're creating your own patterns and making baits. So yeah, appreciate the guys, everybody that's subscribed, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you get notified when we do our next video. And give us a like. That helps us in the algorithm, gets us out there, and help me get 1,000 subscribers. That's my goal, hit us 1,000 subscribers, and I think it's definitely possible. But again, I appreciate all the subscribers, the good comments. Let me know in the comments what you would have done with the eyes. I think the blue eyes turned out really cool. I like how it blends with the blue of the Sexy Shad. So yeah. Alright guys, appreciate you watching, appreciate all the subscribers, and we'll see you on the next video. And always remember, stay crusty, my friends.